Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. This is your daily AI News Digest. And today we are watching a historic shockwave ripple through the global economy. The market isn't just reacting to AI anymore, it's being completely remade by it. Let's get right into it. Our top story this morning, it's an absolute bloodbath in the software markets. Global software and data analytics stocks are in a total freefall. Just look at these numbers. Thomson Reuters is down a staggering 18%. That's its biggest single-day loss ever. LegalZoom, down almost 20%. And it's the same story in Europe. Giants like RELX are seeing those same massive double-digit drops. So, what on earth is causing this chaos? Well, analysts are already calling it the Anthropic Contagion. And let's be clear, this isn't just some market correction. No, this is a catastrophic revaluation of entire industries. And it was all kicked off by one thing: the full commercial release of Anthropic's new Claude Cowork agent plugins. Now, to really get why there's so much panic, you have to understand this term, agentic execution. We are not talking about the little co-pilots that help you write an email. No way. We're talking about autonomous digital employees. These are AIs that can handle complex, multi-step business processes. Think legal research, financial modeling, even sales outreach, all by themselves. Okay, and what's so fascinating here is just how specific the impact is. You look at Thomson Reuters. The market's worried their entire proprietary legal database is about to become obsolete. For LegalZoom, it's even simpler. They're facing direct competition from an AI. And this isn't just a Western problem. Check out the Nifty IT index in India. It's down almost 7% because their whole business model is suddenly at risk. And that really shows you the global scale of this disruption. For decades, the Indian IT industry, we're talking over $280 billion, has been built on deploying huge teams of engineers for coding and maintenance. Well, guess what? Anthropic's agents are designed to do exactly those kinds of jobs. So this technology, for them, is an absolutely existential threat to their entire billing model. This quote just nails the essence of this whole tectonic shift. The market is finally waking up to the fact that the value isn't in the software license anymore. The value is in the cognitive task that gets done. We are fundamentally shifting from software as a service to intelligence as a labor replacement. But, as the old software world crumbles, a new empire is rising. And it's all on the hardware side. This is what we're calling hardware's new hegemony. It's the race to build the actual foundation, the cognitive substrate for this entire new global economy. And who's at the center of it all? Of course, it's NVIDIA. Today, they pulled the curtain back on their Rubin platform, the successor to Blackwell. And listen, this isn't just a faster chip. This is the first hardware stack built from the ground up for this new era of reasoning agents, AIs that can actually think and act over long periods of time. The numbers here are they're mind-boggling. The new Rubin GPU has 336 billion transistors. That is just an astronomical leap in density. And it's all thanks to TSMC's bleeding-edge 2-nanometer process. This is the kind of raw power you need for true digital cognition. But you know what? It's not just about the processing speed. It's about memory. Each one of these Rubin systems can pack up to 31 terabytes of high-bandwidth memory. So why does that matter? Well, it smashes through what engineers call the memory wall. And that lets an agent hold a consistent thought process for hours, maybe even days, to finish a really complex task. And this isn't just one component. It's a whole system working together. You're looking at 6 different specialized pieces, from the Vera CPU that drives the logic to the Rubin GPU that provides the cognitive muscle. They're all engineered to function as a single, massive supercomputing entity. NVIDIA isn't just building chips anymore. They're building brains. Okay, so that's the huge industrial scale. But what does all this mean for you? Well, this next part is all about how these incredibly powerful agents are moving from being abstract ideas in a data center to becoming autonomous assistants in your actual everyday life. So let's take a look at a real-world example that Google launched just today. It's a feature called Auto Browse. You give your Chrome browser a really complex task, something like, hey, book my entire trip to Italy for next month. The Gemini agent then just goes to work, hopping between different websites, filling out all the forms, executing payments, all while you just sit back and supervise. And when you look at what Google's doing, their strategy is crystal clear. They're embedding this agentic AI into the core gateways of the internet. First, they've turned the browser itself into an agent. Next up, we're hearing a Gemini-enhanced Siri is coming to the next version of iOS. And they're even pushing into education in huge markets like India, with things like integrated SAT prep. And it's not just staying digital. Today, at a trade show in Las Vegas, the agents literally arrived in the physical world. The electric vehicle maker Faraday Future just launched its first line of fully certified embodied AI robots. And get this, they are on sale to the public right now. Now, with this incredible speed of deployment, the research community is absolutely racing to keep up. But as they keep pushing the frontier of what's possible, they're starting to uncover a really fundamental paradox. These new capabilities are bringing entirely new vulnerabilities with them. And this is the critical problem researchers are wrestling with. It's being called the capability vulnerability paradox. A paper that just dropped today shows that the smarter and more capable an agent becomes at following complex instructions, the more vulnerable it is to being hijacked. It's a huge security bottleneck for this entire revolution. And if we look at where this cutting-edge research is happening, well, the center of gravity is definitely shifting. This chart shows where the papers at this year's top AI conference are coming from. And as you can see, roughly 2/3 now originate from Chinese institutions, with a really heavy focus on industrial AI and smart infrastructure. Okay, and that brings us to our final section. And it's probably the most important question of all. We have the technology now, but what is the true price of all this new cognition? This right here is the final bottleneck. For decades, the global economy basically ran on human labor arbitrage, right? Finding the cheapest person you could to get a job done. Well, this slide shows the new paradigm perfectly. We have moved to compute arbitrage. The whole game now is about finding the most cost-efficient AI tokens to perform any given cognitive task. And here's the thing. Unlike past waves of automation that mostly hit manual labor, this one is different. A new study from Microsoft Research just confirmed that the jobs most exposed this time around are high-skill, white-collar roles in places like finance, law, and software engineering. But there is a massive catch, and it has a name: the inference wall. This is the enormous energy and financial cost it takes to actually run these powerful AI agents at scale. See, it's one thing to build a powerful model, it's a whole other thing to be able to afford to use it. And that right now is the primary barrier to widespread deployment. Which leaves us with this final critical question. The technology now exists to automate almost any cognitive white-collar job on the planet. The agents are here. But with their immense energy demands and just staggering operational costs, the real question is, who can actually afford to switch them on?